Good evening. Good evening. As Facebook builds our audience, I would like for you to go to YouTube, like and subscribe our page there. Go to Instagram and like and subscribe to our page there. And on Facebook, like, and also don't forget to share with your friends and family. You don't know who this video can help to make it a life-changing event for them, because so many people are suffering right now due to the pandemic. So drop your questions. If you have been enjoying watching my videos, please do drop me a thumbs up to let me know that you really enjoy logging in and listening to my videos. Be sure to like the video. I'm going to do videos every night until this 14-day window is up, because I really want people to understand and know what's going on. And I'm going to be giving daily updates to let you know what pitfalls I'm seeing for people, I'm hearing from people, things, updates from the SBA, as well as different government entities who are working with the program. So again, drop me a thumbs up if you have been enjoying these videos. We're going to go ahead and get started. Tonight, I'm going to go over some of the pitfalls that I am seeing with navigating your paperwork. A lot of people are not understanding that you must send a copy, and a lot of lenders are asking for the back and the front of your driver's license. And the reason that they're asking for the backs of your driver's license is because now we have a barcode on the back of our driver's license where that barcode can be read. So make sure that you get a clear copy. Make sure that you're understanding what they're asking for, because some of the portals are asking that you submit it in a PDF form. Some are asking for it to be in a JPEG, a picture format. If you are unsure about what a PDF is, what you can do is scan your driver's license in, and if it shows up as a JPEG, that means a .jpeg on the name of the file, then you can print it to PDF, select print, and then instead of printing it to your normal printer, then you would print it to PDF so that you can get it in PDF format. A lot of people are having trouble with that. Also, if you do not have a checkbook with your account, because they want to make sure that when they give you these funds that you are able to get it electronically. So they are looking for a voided check. If you do not have checks for your account, I would suggest that you go onto an online site where you can look like you're going to order checks. Go all the way to the page of where the proof is, take a screenshot of it, and use that as your check. You don't have time right now to order checks. So again, I would suggest that if you do, because a lot of people are just working with a bank card, I highly suggest that you go on one of these check websites where you can order checks and do it that way. Because the reason being is why you can't wait, time is not on your side. People that were not able to qualify are going to get qualified now. They have so much funds left, so you will need to get your funding. People that were only qualify for 1,000, now they're qualifying for 15,000. So with that happening, the funds are going to be exhausted a lot faster. You are not competing with just the people in your area. You're competing with the entire nation for these funds. Therefore, time is not on your side. you need to get your paperwork in as soon as possible, because there's no guarantee that they're going to refund the program once all of the funds are gone. Again, time is of the essence. Time is not on your side. How long will it take you to make $15,000 on your part-time gig, on a job, or whatever? If they're going to give you a free $15,000, I think you need to stay up all night and get this done. A lot of people they're asking for your bank statements from first quarter of 2020, because what they're doing is trying to establish that your business was open by the date that they have designated for PPP. Now, if you are a gig worker, Instacart worker, Uber driver, Uber Eats, DoorDash, if you pour concrete and your boss man pays you in cash, if you drive a truck for somebody else and they gave you a 1099, you are an independent contractor. So therefore, you may not have a business, quote unquote, business account. You may have your own personal account. You can use your own personal bank account to submit, because they're just looking for the transactions to show that you were in business. So you're going to see your paychecks going in there, or the money that you collected if you were a hairstylist, or if you collected money through PayPal, if you collected money through Square. All of those deposits are going to show to prove that you were in business. So even if you're using your personal account, which you probably shouldn't be, but they are going to allow it, because a lot of people that file Schedule Cs are gig workers, independent contractors. So do not think that you cannot use your personal bank statements. Some people are changing accounts. They went from one bank to another bank. Get the bank statements from that time, but when you do that voided check for your application, make sure that it's with your current account, because that's where they're going to deposit your funds. Do not do it off of account that you closed. You need to do it off of your current account. If you had 3 or 4 accounts since the beginning of 2020, do it off your most current account, the voided check. Now, the bank statement still need to whatever ones that you have for that time period of first quarter 2020 that they're asking for. So don't forget to do that, because you do not want to be looking for your funds and they gone to account, the bank's rejected them because that account's closed, and then now you got to spend 6 months trying to trace back the funds. So please do make sure that your voided check is for your current account where you want the funds deposited. Another thing that I've been seeing as an issue, a lot of employers, just because you don't own a company and you're working, quote unquote, for somebody, there's a difference between an employee and an independent contractor. So the best way to identify that is if your boss man does not take out taxes, but you file taxes. That is a good indication that you are an independent contractor who can still file for their own PPP. Example, trucking company ABC, I have a CDL license. I drive for trucking company ABC. They don't take out any taxes, but they send me a 1099 every year. I can file for my PPP. Even though my name is not the company, but they are paying me. You are not an employee. An employee is a person that has deductions for their taxes, and the employer will get paid through their 941 for that. But if they are not taking out taxes on you, you can apply for PPP. If you go to work and you're working under the table, but you file taxes, you can file for PPP as long as you have a Schedule C. You do not need to have a LLC. I keep trying to express this on every video that I do, and every day the same thing comes up. People will say, I started my business in 2019, but I didn't get an LLC to May 20th. You started your business in 2019. Therefore, you meet the deadline of starting your business at the beginning of the year. Just because you were not an LLC to May does not mean you didn't have a business until May. You were acting as a sole proprietor. Just because you got an LLC does not change that you are still a sole proprietor. I posted today, the IRS still looks at you as a sole proprietor. It does not matter of when your LLC was established. When did you start the business? When did you start the business? If you started the business before you got a name, you are a sole proprietor. If you get an LLC, guess what? You are still a sole proprietor. So I cannot stress that enough. Now we're going to take some questions here. So since they want your bank account statements from last year, there's no retrieving of a spreadsheet from your Cash App and any other payment options. That will just be extra work. Now, there's no need of retrieving a spreadsheet. I guess I'm not kind of clear on when you send a spreadsheet from your Cash App. I really don't understand that question. Cash App, and they want bank statements. Cody, help me out with that question, because I'm not really sure how to answer that question. So I don't know how you get bank statements off of Cash App. Maybe you can go into an online account. I've never tried to access one off, but they want letterhead, because if you do a spreadsheet for a bank statement, it does not say that it came from that entity. So they do want you to have it something with that letterhead as far as that bank goes. Also, another thing that we're seeing, some people are in that gap period where, say, the new formula came out, but you had just applied under the old formula. A lot of the lenders are going to, even though you got approval that you were going to get XYZ money based on the old formula, guess what? Do not, just make sure that your contract, when your contract comes to you, your promissory note comes to you, verify your amount under the new formula. Make sure, because what some of them are doing is they are holding your application back right now because they need to get you under the new formula, which is going to give you more money. So don't fret. Just make sure that when you get your loan documents, that you check them to see the amount to make sure the new amount is under the new calculation. Remember that the new calculation is based on line 7, not line 31. Do your calculations based on line 7. Also, we are seeing as an issue is before you sign your loan documents, if you are in food or hospitality, make sure that they are giving you 3.5 months and not 2.5 months. Make sure you do that before you sign your actual promissory note. I'm going to go ahead and take another question. If I'm getting payments via Cash App, PayPal, and Zelle, do I get the print-offs from those payment options? Well, wherever that, because they're not asking you for transactions, each transaction, they just want to see a bank statement. So most people's Cash App, even though some people may be using Cash App as their primary banking, most people cash out their Cash App to their their regular bank account that they're using. The same thing with PayPal, Zelle. If you're taking payments that way, that's perfectly fine, because those payments should be dumping into your monthly bank statement. So I hope that that's kind of answering your question. But if you don't have a bank statement or anything to show that you were in business, then I would, I guess, try to use some documentation from one of those entities. But most people do have, and like Zelle is normally, yes, it's going straight into your account. Then you just need to get your bank statement. That's why they're asking for the bank statement, because then the bank statement will show that you received money from Cash App, that you received money from Zelle, you received money from PayPal. It usually will show up. I forgot how it shows up on your bank statement. Very good. Yes. So you just need your bank statement. Don't worry about how you get it, because some people get money off Square. Some, like in our business, our main account is with Bank of America, but we use PayPal as a collection method. We use Cash App as a payment method, but we only are turning in our Bank of America bank statement because we filter all that money back into Bank of America. So I hope I'm being a little bit clear on that question. Yeah, so they're not, and that's another misconception. People say, I haven't been keeping my paperwork. Don't worry about that. You just need your Schedule C, your bank statements to prove that you were in business, whether they were your personal bank statements or with a company name, because remember, everybody's not going to have a company name, because most people are a sole proprietor, and you're still a sole proprietor if you got an LLC, if you don't go back and do another designation. And we'll talk about that after PPP, about the difference between looking into getting an S Corp versus a LLC. But that's another video for another day. Okay, thank you, Cody. I'm glad I was able to answer that question. I'm pretty sure other people had that question as well. But if you have some kind of prepaid card that you're using, I know like some people even use Green Dot. You should go online and you should be able to download a bank statement from Green Dot. So don't be afraid to ask questions. Also, make sure, I can't stress this enough, if you are in doubt or you can't read your tax return, I'm going to, on my page, I have a blank Schedule C. And if you are a S corporation, you can use your K1. If you are in a partnership and because there are so many different entities beside a LLC, I cannot stress this enough, that a LLC, I'm not going to say it doesn't mean anything, but it's not as a big a deal as people are making it out to be. You can still file your K1 instead of a Schedule C. So if you are not sure, if you don't have a business name, just check it. And some tax preparers that's giving people the hookup, that's getting people $10,000, $12,000 back, guess what they did? They put a Schedule C on your tax return and claimed a bunch of losses to reduce your W-2 income. That's what some of these tax preparers do. Guess what? They might have put you in a lucky position by doing that, because now you can go off of line 7. Check your tax returns no matter if you work or not, because some of these tax preparers are giving people companies and businesses that they never seen, never heard of before, and you got a Schedule C. So check your Schedule C, check your tax return to see if you have a Schedule C on your tax return. If you are not sure, it's not going to hurt you to do it, but Another thing I cannot stress enough to you. Yes, PPP is a loan, but it is a forgivable loan. Forgivable means that they are going to forgive the loan. That means you're not going to owe any money for that. Okay, I didn't file DoorDash for 2019. I didn't receive a Schedule C, only a 1099. Can I file or do I use 2020 tax returns? The 1099 is used to make a Schedule C. So don't get that confused too. Your 1099 is issued by the person that you did work for. The 1090, and you take that 1099 to your tax preparer, and they fill out a government form called a Schedule C. So it's a two-step process. The Schedule C comes from your taxes. The 1099 comes from the person that you did work for, and they issued you to let the government know how much they paid you in wages over the course of the year. So don't get confused with the 1099 versus the Schedule C. Your tax preparer gives you the Schedule C. The person that paid you money all year gives you the 1099. Okay, I submitted all of that information. I was denied because I was unable to provide approval as a result of a duplicate loan approval. If you already had a loan in the system, SBA is picking it up. If you apply multiple places, then SBA, once they issue a loan number, it's going to attach to your loan number is going to attach to your social or your EIN number, whichever one you were using in order to be approved. So if you apply multiple places, you need to look at all of the places that you apply and make sure that none of it went into your junk email. Because until you get an approval code from the SBA, you can see, because some people are processing applications faster than others. So you need to go back and see where all you applied to get the duplicate, to find out where else it is. And you might want to reach out to the SBA directly on their hotline number, or send an email and ask, where is your duplication, or is it an error on their part that they feel like it was a duplication but it wasn't. Never had a loan. I only applied for the EIDL that was denied. You can do your reconsideration for your EIDL. Another update on EIDL, you need to be checking your email, because an email is going to come from SBA.gov for the rest of people's $10,000. You got to fill out the application. You cannot go on there and request it. They're going to send you, because they have included a piece about people that are in low income, their businesses in low income areas, and they're targeting them first, but you only have so many days to respond. So you need to make sure that you go in and do that. Also, check for your reconsideration for your EIDL. Now, unlike PPP, some people are saying that they're getting denied because of their credit under PPP. They should not be doing that, but some banks are creating what they call overlays. So you've got to find the banks that are not doing the credit check if you are being denied due to credit. But most lenders are not supposed to be going off of credit. Now, you are an employee if they are taking out taxes. If they're taking out taxes, then your employer will file for your PPP to get PPP for retaining you as a worker. So make sure you understand the difference between an independent contractor. That means that they're not taking out taxes and they're giving you a 1099 at the end of the year. You should apply for your own PPP. Your employer is not going to do that. If they're taking out taxes, then you're a W-2 employee and they will apply using their 941, which is two separate things. So if you get a 1099, apply for your own PPP. Also, if you're not sure, check your tax return. Go page by page. Look for Schedule C or profit and loss, K1. Look for those two documents through your tax return just to be sure that you're not overlooking money that you should be receiving. If you have any personal questions, you can DM me. Also, I put in the thing where you can call our office and we will assist you the best that we can. Again, a lot of portals are shutting down because of the fact that they're getting bombarded because so many more people qualify under the new formula. So just be patient, but also be looking for other lenders that can do the PPP that have a shorter wait period, that may not have as many applicants as some of your larger entities. So continue to look for PPP. Remember, time is not on your side. Like and share my video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram and on Bossed Up Academy on Facebook. Drop a comment if you have any additional questions.